Good morning, Rams, and welcome back to the Ram Report Morning Show. I'm your host, Alejandro Mendoza, as always, bringing you the Hightstown Scoop. In this past weekend, we witnessed a truly controversial Super Bowl 54. Here to discuss the game is Matt Salter.
This past Sunday, the NFL crowned its Super Bowl 55 champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were able to run through the Kansas City Chiefs, beating them 31-9. Tampa's defense stepped up this game against one of the best offensive teams in the league, holding them to 3 field goals and not a single touchdown. Devin White and Antoine Winfield Jr. both made key plays by walking away with interceptions. The Bucs also had 2 sacks coming from Shaq Barrett and Ndamukong Suh. On the offensive side of the ball, the Bucs offense was lights out. Tom Brady, the Super Bowl MVP, threw for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. We also got to see vintage Gronk again, totaling 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not only were the Bucs able to beat them through the air, but the ground game was going as well, with a total of 155 rushing yards, led by Leonard Fournette with 90 rushing yards and a touchdown. This was the second Super Bowl victory in franchise history and the first time a team has ever won the Super Bowl in their home stadium. The Buccaneers will look to run it back with everyone again next year. I'm Matthew Salter with the Ram Report. Back to you.
Thanks, Matt. This was surely a game for the history books. Speaking of history, take a trip to the Great Frontier. Yes, it's time for the Wild West Weekend, presented by the Ramflix. This weekend, 3 thrilling tales will be aired on this very channel. Created by the students of Honors Narrative Filmmaking class, tune into the channel for tonight's premiere of The Benevolent Dilemma at 7 p.m. tonight, with 2 more premieres on Saturday and Sunday. Be there or be square. For our next story, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is facing an impeachment trial for the second time in just 2 years. Here's our national correspondent, Lara Pavlovic, with more information.
The second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump officially began on February 9th, in which the Senate will be voting on whether or not to convict him for incitement of insurrection causing the Capitol riots. The House impeachment managers are given 16 hours to spread throughout 2 days to make their case that the Senate should convict Trump. Following that, Trump's lawyers are given 2 days to defend the former president. However, in order for the House impeachment managers to be successful in their pursuits to convict Trump, a 2/3 majority must be obtained in the Senate. This is unlikely to happen as only 6 Republican senators voted that the trial itself was constitutional. This trial is expected to be shorter in length in comparison to the previous one, and we may receive news of the outcome as soon as early next week. I'm Lara Pavlovic with the Ram Report. Back to you.
Thank you, Lara. It'll be interesting to see how this trial proceeds in comparison to the last one. For our next story, basketball. On Tuesday, our girls' varsity basketball team faced off against Allentown. Reporting on the results, here's Alex Fayes.
This past Tuesday, the Hightstown girls basketball team took on Allentown in a game that came down to the wire. The Rams were led by Abby Miser's 21 points and Isabella Benitez's 10. The Redbirds were led by Maddie McRae's 16 points. It was a defensive battle the whole game, and each team fought hard to the final buzzer. Hightstown ended up on top, 48-44. This moves Hightstown's record to 2-2, while the Redbirds dropped to 1-1. With the girls playing teams like Hamilton West, Steiner, and Trenton in the coming weeks, they will face many challenges. We've seen the girls work hard all winter, and we're excited to see them pick up more wins. I'm Alex Fayes with the Ram Report. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Alex, and good luck to our girls basketball team, who will be playing Steiner tomorrow at 12:30. For our next story, pizza. We're coming at the end of the Ram Report's pizza saga, so the time has come to check out everyone's favorite pizza place, Domino's. Here's Parker Bennick with the review.
Well, it's another week here at the Ram Report, and we all know what that means, and it can only mean one thing. It's time for another Ram Report pizza review. Let me take a quick look at my list here to see what I'm reviewing this week. Menino's, no. Sal's, no. Definitely not Scotto's or Planet Pizza. I already did all those. What's this? Domino's? Yeah, I guess I am reviewing Domino's this week. Definitely everyone's favorite local pizza place. We all know this is not our first rodeo here with pizza reviewing at the Ram Report. We've got our 6 categories that we're reviewing on. We have our structure, our crust, our cheese to sauce ratio, our presentation, our flavor, and the new consideration that we added last week, delivery time. Now let's go call up Domino's and place our order for a plain pizza. Alright, so the Domino's pizza has arrived. Opening up the box. Certainly looks like pizza, that's for sure. This took exactly 29 minutes and 58 seconds to arrive. So right around the 30-minute mark, which is, in my opinion, a perfect timing for a pizza delivery. Time to find out how this tastes. Alright, so we're here post-pizza. It's time for the actual review of Domino's. It's definitely an outlier among the pizza restaurants that we have reviewed so far. I'm going to start with the crust and the structure. I don't really think it's anything to write home about. It's pretty generic, and to move into flavor, it doesn't really have much unique flavor when compared to the other local restaurants that we've tasted, like Menino's and Scotto's and stuff like that. It's not at all bad in any way. It's just, it's very basic. In terms of the cheese to sauce ratio, though, I think it's fairly balanced, and it is also important to point out that the Domino's website essentially allows you to customize your pizzas however you want, whether that be with extra sauce, extra cheese, whatever toppings you want. You can even swap out the types of crusts. So they have a lot of customizability, so you can kind of get the pizza however you want it. Then we have the presentation, which I think is fairly lacking. You open the box, pretty small pizza. It definitely looks pretty good. It's just not, again, the common theme here, it's not much compared to the other local restaurants that we have around here. So all things considered, I'm gonna give Domino's a 3.5 out of 5 Rams. Despite the negative aspects, like I said about the presentation, kind of a pretty basic flavor and structure and crust and all of that, there are lots of positives to Domino's, like the customizability on the website, and I think that the delivery window of 30 minutes is pretty top-notch when it comes to delivery pizza. So all things considered, Domino's is pretty basic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not necessarily enough to compete with the other local heavyweight pizza restaurants in the area. So yeah, that's another Ram Report Pizza review. Parker Bennett here with the Ram Report. Thank you, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Parker. And make sure to go support your local Domino's and enjoy some tasty pizza. Valentine's Day. This Sunday is Valentine's Day, so make sure to order some flowers for your significant other, or maybe excellent pizza, whatever floats your boat. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in, and come back next week for more Hightstown news. Stay safe, have a good weekend, and I always have a ramtastic day.